Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague, and with me, like always, is Noah Bailey. So we usually film these Nerd Nook episodes on a Monday, but this past Wednesday was so crazy. We just had to talk about it early, and there was some other stuff kind of sprinkled in throughout this past 3 days. We're filming this on a Friday. There was some other stuff sprinkled in, but all the stuff we're going to talk about today is just from this past Wednesday. Apparently, February 13th was just the day to reveal stuff. So, yeah, without
Well,
further ado,
if you think about it, it's like the way that the nerd community can show love through Valentine's Day is before Valentine's Day. Like just shower them with gifts.
yeah, exactly. So let's get right into it with that freaking Nintendo Direct. Oh my gosh. Now, to put this direct into context, there hasn't been really any new information about anything Nintendo related since September of last year. There was that big Smash Direct in
Hmm.
November, and then a little bit of stuff at the Game Awards. But as far as like Nintendo as a whole, we haven't had a general Nintendo Direct since September 8th, I think, or somewhere around there. So, needless to say, fans have been freaking out about Nintendo. Give us a direct. When's the next direct? With like every single tweet, every single YouTube video, every single Facebook post, there was there was just as many people telling people to shut up about a direct as there is people wanting a direct to the point where you didn't even like really see the people who wanted it, just the people that were complaining about the people want. Like, it was crazy. That happened for about the past 5 months. And then finally, on Tuesday, they announced a direct for the next day. And then, yeah, needless to say, in my humble opinion, Nintendo delivered on everything fans would have possibly wanted. So let's get right into it with opening the show with Mario Maker 2.
Hmm.
And I thought this was so clever because um, the major complaint people had about the first Mario Maker is that you couldn't make slopes. For
Hmm.
some reason, even though slopes are pretty iconic to ground pounding, sliding down, being a bunch of enemies, like that was something you can do in pretty much every Mario game since Mario 3, I think. They just weren't there. But you open the gameplay with Mario dying to a bunch of Spinies, and then you add a slope. Like that is so clever. Like they know what we want from this
Hmm.
game.
They listen to the fans, which is something other companies could learn
Yeah.
from.
um. Yeah. Like not only did they add slopes, they added a UI system that looks more robust. It just the one in the Wii U, it was fine, but like it was a little clunky at times. It's like with the whole wheel system seems to be much more snappy. Them adding the cat suit and other elements from Super Mario 3D World, I felt that was pretty clever. Like when I kept thinking about, what could they possibly do to make a Mario Maker 2, I thought for sure they would just port Mario Maker 1 and just add slopes. But adding 3D World stuff, adding just everything they did, I felt this very much so warrants a seat like the 2 next to it. So I'm Mario Maker is not one of those games I feel like I'm actually going to end up getting, but I'm definitely very much so excited for the people that like just saw this and is
Hmm.
like, oh crap, I have ideas now based on all the stuff they showed new in this. So it made a lot of people very happy. I can definitely tell. Um, you got any thoughts about this before we move on?
Not really. I mean, not personally, not really, but I think it is a good idea. Obviously, like
Oh
I
yeah,
think I like how they're taking everything that's been created up to this point, and then they're like, all right, now you have fun with it.
yeah.
That's one of the best things about it. Just shows, because the only thing better than an awesome Mario World is an awesome Mario World that you made
Oh yeah,
by yourself. So
yeah.
I mean,
And a lot of people were kind of wondering, why did Nintendo port New Super Mario Bros. U to the Switch when they did? It just kind of seemed like a weird thing to port 6 years after the game was already out, and
Mm.
but now I get it. Like they had to port it then, so because they couldn't port it after Mario Maker was announced because everyone would just make their own, 2D Mario game that's potentially even better than New Super Mario Bros. U. So yeah, I think that was the right play. Um, I'm not gonna go over everything from the direct because there was a lot of it, but like I'm gonna just go over the stuff that I personally felt is worth talking about. And next, they showed more Ultimate Alliance 3. Yes. It didn't click with me that this game was probably going to be at this direct until like an hour before it started. I was like, "Oh crap. We got to get more Ultimate Alliance 3 news." Okay, I'm that much more excited for this thing. Cool. And I didn't I didn't really have any expectations outside of I just wanted to see more X-Men in this trailer, and we got Storm. That's
Very good.
that's great.
Yeah, I like how they're like it's not just like MCU only Marvel.
Mm.
That's kind of what they've been doing in other categories, and like here they're not. They're playing it to how it has been in the past. They're playing it to the original. It's like okay, like the people don't just want the MCU characters are cool, and I do like the idea that they're bringing in Captain Marvel kind of too because like the movie's coming out
Mm.
soon, so that makes sense. But it's also like, hey, X-Men are still here. There's more going on, and also Venom. We saw like
Oh yeah,
there's
Venom.
it's more than just MCU stuff going on,
Mm.
which is always a win because Marvel's not just a movie
Oh yeah.
series.
And I'm really hoping they have like the entire cast of X Men characters because Cyclops was always fun to play with. Gambit was fun to play with in
Mm.
Ultimate Alliance 2. Like, I hope it's not just limited to a select few. I hope they bring just pack this game full with any Marvel character you could possibly think of. Like every villain, every anti-hero, every hero, just anyone who the developers want to be playable, just make them playable. Don't limit it to just Disney stuff. Don't limit it. Period. Just have all the X-Men, all the Defenders, Avengers, just everyone. That's my hope for this at least. Um, I think they said that's coming this summer, so
Mhm.
they can ride high off the Avengers and Spider-Man hype. Thinking like a maybe late like July August title that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Mm. And also the addition of online play is
Mm.
just makes it even better because this
Oh, for
game
sure.
thrived off of couch co-op. So having the ability to, if you don't have a friend to play with, to play online is
Whole world is your couch now.
exactly. Speaking of couch co-op, they teased Smash Ultimate version 3.0 to be announced in April.
Mhm.
And I don't even know if tease would be the right word for this because it was barely even that. It was just, hey, 3.0 is coming. The new character Joker is coming. Gotta wait to find out what that like. Why?
Yeah,
Why
no,
even bother?
I was so annoyed. I saw it. It was like, yeah, there's 3 point. I was like, okay, I'm listening. Like, but we can't tell you. But I was like, then why'd you
Why the
bring it
fuck are you
up? Now you have me all invested, and then you're just like, oh, next time. I'm just like, why would you do that? That's so mean.
Maybe they'll have like a Smash Center Direct in April. That's kind of my theory. Just kind of
Yes,
want to
but
tease that, but
to bring it up,
I,
I'm all mean.
I don't know. At least show gameplay of Joker. Like I know he's only been in development for about 2 years. Sorry, 2 months. We saw his back, so there's that. He
I
had a little
mean,
dagger, so I guess we'll
we
fight with
know it
that.
exists,
Yeah,
so
he's still in the game. Just make sure you remember that. But I don't know. That was ironically probably the Smash stuff was the stuff I was most disappointed about. Like I'm not one of those people that expects every single direct to just have every single game Nintendo has ever announced. Like I wasn't. I was hoping for stuff like Animal Crossing and Luigi's Mansion. We didn't end up getting those, but like
Mhm.
I went in with like if they show a bunch of other stuff but don't have those, like I'm fine with it. But then actually showing Smash stuff, but
and
not
then not
really,
delivering.
felt really
That's what I'm
weird.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Because they're bringing it up just to remind you that you still don't know what's going on.
But
They're
everyone
just
knows
making
Smash exists. It's not like we forgot about it.
like you can't hide it. Like you're like, oh yeah, remember this game? Like, yes, I'm
Prime Plan
playing
came
it
out
right
2 weeks ago,
now.
and it's like, we're still playing.
Like, yeah, yeah. I'm still playing. I'm literally just paused the game so I could listen to it.
Exactly.
Like, what's going on? Why would you
I
do
paused this game so I can watch YouTube through my Switch just to watch this direct. Like,
this?
hmm.
Monsters, they know it too. That's the
Oh yeah,
thing. They're just
yeah.
like, oh, got them.
Okay. Um, I think I'm probably going out of order at this point, but whatever.
Nah.
Next up is next that I have here is more Starlink Battle for Atlas stuff that
Mm-hmm.
basically just makes it a Star Fox game, and
Yep.
you don't see me complaining about
I'm
that.
not, oh, yeah, I'm like, that's not a bad thing. It looks really good too. Like, it has
Oh
the
yeah.
classic elements, but obviously it's like, up to par with today's games. But it
Hmm.
looks good.
Yeah, like you know, and especially since they said that the different captains would have their own, like Fox, Falco, Slippy, Peppy would have their own unique pilot abilities,
Mm-hmm.
which is something Star Fox doesn't even have. So it almost feels like the people at Ubisoft making this game just wanted to make a Star Fox game, but originally they didn't have the rights for it, so they like made this other space, base
Mm-hmm.
spaceship game, and then Nintendo came to them and was like, "Hey, you should add Star Fox stuff for this," and they were like, "Perfect, we wanted this
Oh,
all along." Yes.
it's like, yes. They're like, oh, yeah, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And then she was like, it works, guys. We did it.
Like they might as well just call it Star Fox Battle for Atlas. Like,
That's what I'm gonna call it. Like we know what's really going on here.
yeah, and Starlink is one of those games that it came out like I think October of last year, and I was kind of following it. I wasn't ever willing to like pull the trigger on it just because you could play a few levels as Star Fox. But now that you have all this other, like all the other pilots in there, you have a completely new Star Fox focused story.
Mm.
If it's on sale, I honestly might pick it up. Which my wallet's not happy about that, but hey, I mean,
Has to be done.
has to be done. Another thing that apparently just had to be done is
Oh boy.
probably the most surprising announcement ever. Not even just in this direct, just ever. Tetris Battle Royale. What
I
the heck?
I still don't understand. I actually saw it as a meme before I saw the direct, and I was like, "What? This isn't real." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is real."
Tetris 99.
Why?
99
I don't
players enter, one
understand.
comes out. Like that is literally
Like,
Tetris Battle Royale. It's amazing.
I just like I who thought of this? Like, I don't know. Like, it's not a bad idea. It's just like, when did this come into your head? Like, this is not where I thought this was going at
It was like
all.
a beloved, a new entry in this beloved franchise. Like, oh, is it gonna be Tetris Effect? A port of that to the Switch? Is it gonna be just a new Tetris game? What new could they do to warrant a brand new Tetris game?
Well,
Online free battle royale? Sure, why not?
I mean, it's working for other stuff, but
Yeah,
Tetris, I mean, it's the same but different. That's the formula. So, I mean,
yeah.
so is it so it's 100 people
99, but yeah,
and okay, 99 people. Okay, but basically 100 people,
yeah.
and the last person to not fail. Wait, how does it work? I'm so confused.
I've actually played a little bit of it. Um, you just play basic Tetris, but you also have the ability to like send the blocks that you've destroyed to other people you're playing
Oh
against. So
snap!
you can see like your main Tetris board is the main thing on the screen, but kind of to the left and right are like little indicators of how everyone else is doing, and you can pick any given point like who to throw your blocks at when you destroy something. So like while you're trying to do that, people are also throwing blocks at you.
Oh my
So
gosh.
you can try to play it like normal Tetris, but after a while, it'll
It'll
start just like
start.
piling up, and then you have to start just like burning blocks, and it's. I got to number 9. That's as high as I got.
That's pretty
I'm not even
good.
that good at Tetris, so I mean,
That's pretty solid.
yeah,
Number 9 out of 99. That's pretty intense.
yeah. So
Tetris
before
Battle
too long, there's
Royale.
gonna be 100 battle royale games, and then they could finally do a battle royale battle royale.
Battle Royale? That would be great. It's a Battle Royale within a Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Huge Inception
Mm.
music.
But
Hans Zimmer.
yeah, like there were so many people on Twitter like retweeting stuff that they had posted from like a year ago about, you know, next they're gonna make a Tetris battle royale game, or like the moment they make a Tetris battle royale is the worst timeline. It's like I didn't mean it.
They were just like, oh, they're not ready. They don't understand. Next is gonna, you know what's gonna be next? Pong Battle Royale. I can see
I
it.
like me some Pong, so
I
sure.
could, I could see it. I could see it
Yeah.
happening. Maybe it's just like, I don't know how yet, but there's a way that they
Mm,
could set it up with like 100 people,
yeah,
and
or like
then,
Pong, or like Breakout Battle Royale, like the game where
ooh,
basically, yeah,
yeah,
Breakout. Um, at this point, anything is possible.
Minesweeper Battle
I'm not going to be
Royale.
surprised about any battle royale game ever again because Tetris 99 exists.
Tetris. Tetris Battle Royale is real. Like
Uh,
that's
and I love it.
anything is possible
It's free to
now.
play,
Anything is
so if
possible.
you have a Switch, go for
Do it.
it. um, next up, I have probably the game that I could easily see a lot of fanboys being mad that it finally came to Switch. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Now, this is one of those games that, just like from a technical standpoint, it is gorgeous on the Xbox One and PS4. Like there's certain things
Mm.
that like it. I don't think that it doesn't run well, but like there are certain things here and there that people are like, how do they get that to run even on the PS4? So for that to be running on the Switch and it actually, assuming what we saw in the direct is Switch gameplay, it looks good. um, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what they
Yeah.
I don't know what they did to make it work, but
It works. That's
cool.
all that matters.
And like this game was, I don't know if it was nominated for Game of the Year 2017, but it was getting like so many awards, like Games of Impact, voice actor awards. Like there were so many things about this game that just like people fell in love with in 2017, and yeah, playing this type of game on the go like seems, I think it's like a 6 hour experience. So if you have a plane trip, just, you know, it's pretty short. So it, yeah, it seems like a pretty good game just to play in one sitting like that. So yeah, I'm glad it's here. So kind of an overarching theme throughout the entire direct was, it seemed like someone, maybe an intern or something at Nintendo, uh, re reactivated Nintendo's Crunchyroll account because there was a whole lot of anime in this direct. And again, you don't see me complaining about that, but there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games that I consider to be like, at least anime
Mhm.
inspired in
Right.
this direct. And oh boy. First off, you got Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which that game is finally coming out this summer. That was a game from 20 that was kickstarted back in 2014, I think. That was pitched as the guy that used to make Castlevania making basically another
Mm,
Castlevania game because Konami's stupid.
the same but
Yeah.
different.
And the gameplay, it looked like a Castlevania game.
The same but different.
Yeah. Um, and you have Oninaki, a new action RPG from the same people that brought you Lost Sphere and I Am Setsuna. Except um, this looks a little more fleshed out, like their own style, because those two games, they the idea between those two was to kind of capture the 16-bit era of Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI, just in a more modern style. Whereas this Oninaki seems to be a more modern, more modern character models, more modern gameplay period. Like it actually looks pretty good. So it looks kind of dungeon crawler y action RPG. Like yeah, is definitely a pretty substantial jump from their previous offering. So cool. I didn't understand the significance of this next one until someone pointed out to me later. Rune Factory 4 and then the announcement that Rune Factory 5 is also coming.
I saw that. Yeah.
Apparently the company behind Rune Factory went bankrupt, and I don't know if
Oh,
someone bought the rights from them or if they came back to make these, but apparently Rune Factory has a huge following, and there's the fact that Rune Factory 5 is actually coming made a lot of people excited. So cool.
awesome. Great for little guy.
Yeah. um yeah. And that's always just cool to see when I mean it's not cool to see companies go bankrupt, but when a company does go bankrupt and they either come up rise up out of the ashes like THQ did, or these games are still preserved elsewhere, like maybe Ruin
Mhm.
Factory is. I'm not entirely sure, but it's
Right.
just it's just a feel good moment to see stuff like this
Right.
happen.
And the fans still win despite business not going the way they wanted to. It's
Exactly.
like that's the important thing, at
Yeah.
least for us.
And this direct also got a lot of Dragon Quest love with Dragon
Yeah.
Quest Builders 2 and Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 11 S Definitive Edition. No, it's Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of Elusive Age S Definitive Edition.
Such a long time. Oh my gosh. My brother is super excited about that because he's a big Dragon Quest fan. But for me, I'm just it looks I'm just why are you playing rip-off Pokemon? but he's like, no, 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 it's the other way around. I'm like, sure it is, whatever. But I mean, he's right, but it's still no
Yeah.
one cares.
I feel that, yeah.
That's great.
But yeah, Dragon Quest 11 it definitely looks pretty good. I know it came out on PS4, maybe Xbox One, I'm not entirely sure, last year, and the main thing that people complained about was the fact that they liked the game overall, but a lot of people complained that the music wasn't up to par. It was just
Mm.
I think it was not compressed right, or just something was bad about it. So it's kind of funny when this direct just kind of breezed over the fact that oh they fixed the music, it's all orchestrated now. It's like cool. You're not gonna focus on the main complaint about the game, but I guess it's cool that it's there.
I mean, at least it sounds better.
Yeah. And then Dragon Quest Builders 2 just looks super jolly, like Minecraft with Dragon Quest. Like I'm all for it.
So if it ain't broke.
And then the reason why most people are here, Nintendo advertised that this direct would focus a lot on Fire Emblem Three Houses,
Mm.
which basically what this game is Hogwarts, but with swords.
Yes, that's
So
exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I'm getting serious Harry Potter
yeah,
vibes. I didn't want to be the one to say it. They'd be like, no, that's not what it is. It's Fire
no,
Emblem.
it's
I'm like,
Harry
but
Potter.
it's kind of Harry Potter.
Mm.
But I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, Not at all.
I just want to make sure that it's like I just want to make sure that they know that we know what's going on here. Like I'm not judging. I just want you to make sure we are aware this is happening.
Yeah. The
Okay.
yeah, like I was kind of hoping to come out of this direct, feeling one way or the other about Fire Emblem. Like when it was shown at E3, I wasn't super feeling it. I'm definitely happy for people who are huge Fire Emblem fans. I was just kind of hoping this would be the one I would get into because I missed the two or I think three that were on the 3DS. I just kind of never got around to playing them. I was hoping this would be the first one to really get into, and like it looks good. I'm definitely see the appeal. I don't know. It's just right now it just doesn't look like, especially with all the other stuff coming out this year. I just don't know if I'll bite on this one, but we'll see. Let's see. They announced that Final Fantasy VII is coming in March, which it's insane that we live in a timeline where Final Fantasy VII actually appears on a Nintendo console. Like that was
The
the
world is
game that
evolving.
that was the game that
Oh,
back in the PlayStation, like Square Enix wanted Nintendo to go with discs so they could get that game running on the N64, and Nintendo was like, "Nah, we'll be stubborn about this." And they were like, "Okay, bye." And then for the next 10 years, just screwed Nintendo. It's like,
I mean, once you put Cloud on Smash, it's like, okay, what else can we do for you? And it's like, well, I mean, you've already got Cloud. You might as well get the rest of the game that comes with Cloud, so
exactly,
it works.
yeah,
But
like
yeah, I mean that's cool too. I think it's finally time for that game to finally expand to all the
yeah,
other rest of the consoles, and and maybe one of these days we'll hear about that remake. But I mean,
maybe
maybe
if that game
I'm
even
not
still
holding my
exists.
I'm not holding my breath, but yeah, I think it's cool that it's finally getting on. Like Switch is really because I think Switch is really like becoming like that console over time. So I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
really getting there.
yeah. It's slowly becoming like the place to play RPGs because
Right.
you already got Dragon Quest coming, all these other RPGs that were announced to this direct alone. Um, like they're it seems like every single time a new RPG is announced is either exclusive for a Switch or coming to Switch. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it's
So
nice to
you might as well
finally
get
get.
one, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're also getting Final Fantasy. Well, Final Fantasy 9 already was
Yep.
announced and released that day.
Which is also
Um,
a very good Final Fantasy game for those that don't know.
yeah. Unfortunately, Final Fantasy 8 for some reason they lost the source code for it, so they
Disappointing.
haven't been able to like port it to anything else since it came out because they just
Mhm.
don't have the game anymore. They can't reverse engineer it for some reason.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's been lost to time or just, which is weird though, because
It's
I'm
weird.
like, how does that happen? Like
How do you
maybe
lose an entire game you worked like
right?
years on?
Yeah, I mean, you've got that game, and like for that time period, I think back before games, I don't think it was like 3 or 4 discs. I think depending on the Final Fantasy game, but but I mean, oh, his reaction though. But no, it's like 3 or 4 games, 3 or 4 discs, and I'm like, dude, how do you lose all that? There's a ton
At
of
least
going
I
on,
think
but
one disc would have stuck around, but nope, they've lost all of it
nope, all of
somehow.
it somehow. Like we can't even get the end of the game. Like no,
Nope.
no, no, sorry, but
Yeah. And we're also
yeah,
getting Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, which I think is very funny.
pocket editions. It just
Like it's the same
sounds like
game, just they're really chibi, and like I actually kind of like that art style better.
really.
I don't know, it's funny to me.
I don't know. I like that. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm so used to it on PS4 that I'm like
Hmm.
the Pocket Edition just kind of looks kind of like not even bad, just like too different.
Yeah, I
But
understand. Yeah. Um, yeah, and probably the game that coming out of E3 last year outside of Smash Bros. I was most excited for was Daemon X Machina, which let me tell you, after playing that demo that was announced, it just reinforces that this game is gonna be awesome. Because, like I said, clearly someone like someone at Nintendo has been watching Gurren Lagann, Code Geass, Evangelion, because like that thing moves. The machine you move in that game looks or feels exactly like any robot in anime would move. Like
Mm,
when you're sliding around, when you're flying, shooting stuff, like you feel like you're in a mecha anime, and it's
right.
awesome.
Oh my god, that does sound awesome. Just
Mhm.
giant back, man.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty dope.
and I love games where you start off pretty weak, like every game should, but then they
Mm-hmm.
have characters like in Mega Man X, they have Zero, which like this is what you could be. You'll eventually get that strong. Um, pretty. I think in the second mission of the demo, you fight these huge things called Immortals, which you just can't. You're supposed to lose that fight, and then
Mm-hmm.
after you lose, these two other like awesome mechas with these huge guns and huge swords come in and just destroy everything.
Waste.
It's like I want to be that strong. It's like you will be one day. It's like okay,
It's like, but I
okay.
want to be today. Oh man, me.
And um, the coolest part from that demo was the final chapter. Is which I don't care about spoilers. It's free. Like you should have played already. Um, like
This
you're
is.
fighting this big like
It's been what, 2 days?
it's a 4 hour demo. Like what are you doing?
Playing other free stuff.
Like Tetris
Obviously,
99
I'm playing
apparently.
Tetris. Yeah. Obviously, I've been playing Tetris the last 48 hours. What have you been doing?
um, well, you're fighting this big spider creature like robot thing with this huge cannon, and then once it, once it gets around 75% damage, the cannon comes off, and you get to use it and shoot at the robots. Like
Yes.
that's exactly what I
Yep.
wanted to have happen, and they did it. Cool.
Thank you. Like, like I had never realized how much I wanted something to occur until after it already happened, and I now, if it didn't, I'd be so dissatisfied with everything.
Mhm. Yeah. So there are definitely some things they could polish here and there because, um, like like I said, you do start off pretty weak, but I feel you're just slightly slower than you maybe should be at first. Jumping can be a little weird at times. Like you can't really slide into a jump. You have to slide and like hold down the B button to jump out of it. It can be a little wonky at times, but and also the character customization is pretty good. Uh, I I don't usually get super into character customization, but for this demo, for some reason, I decided to try to make something, and I found a color that looks very similar to Thanos. So I
Ooh.
tried to make a character look as similar to Thanos as I possibly could, but you couldn't make your character bald, so I just
Mm.
had to kind of make a hairstyle that's also the same color as his face. Um, and then I made my mecha, like the body of it, like this kind of golden color with
Mm-hmm.
each limb, body, and head being like a different infinity stone color. But for some reason, both the arms, like each arm, could be a different color, but both legs
Or
had to
the
be the
same
same.
color.
It's a little
Interesting.
weird. Like, so I couldn't complete the entire thing. I only had 5 options instead of 6, but whatever, no big deal.
Details.
Yeah, although they did say that they wanted people to give feedback on it, whether it's through social media or they'll send out um, surveys for you to fill out. So if I get a survey, I'll tell them all that. So they still have plenty of time to
Yeah.
fix these minor
Nice.
nitpicks I have.
Yeah, like baby patches. Yeah.
Mm. And the second to last thing they showed in this direct was one of those games that like when you go into something like this, you don't even consider it. You don't even think to ask for whatever this is. But once you get it, you don't know how you live without it. Astral Chains looks dope.
where have you been all my life? Up to the
Exactly.
last 10 seconds. I don't know how I can survive this
Like
many years.
the first, the first little bit, um, it looked like a Xenoblade game because the character models look kind of Xenobladey. The
Hmm.
music is exactly like Gower, sounds almost exactly like the song from Gower Plains on the Smash in Smash Bros. So it was like, oh, it's a either like an expansion to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or Xenoblade Chronicles X2 or whatever. Um, but and and it just like kept going. You notice, oh, these the main character is fighting with this like persona type thing, and then it just keeps escalating from there. Like they fight these like bigger and bigger monsters, like the city is like, crashing all around them. And then you see who's working on this game, Hideki Kamiya, which is who produced Bayonetta, Wonderful 101, Vanquish. Like he is the god of like action, stylish action games, if that's even their own genre. And then the dude behind Nier Automata is also working on this. Like that explains all of this. Like, and it it looks freaking awesome. And it's coming, I think August 30th. So yes, yes.
This is gonna be an awesome summer.
Oh yeah, and like pretty much every single game we talked about is coming this summer.
Mhm.
Mario Maker 2 in June, Ultimate Alliance 3 summer, Fire Emblem I think July something.
Something like that.
That's great.
Like,
Oh, Damon X Machina I think they also said is summer. Like
yeah, I
I
think
don't
every but like three things was like in the summer.
like I don't even think they announced a single game for May. It's like everything was either April or summer. It's like okay. I hmm.
There is no May anymore. There is only pre and post release dates.
I mean, in game isn't coming out in May anymore. It's coming out in April, so we might as well just get May at this point.
Exactly. There is no May. May is a myth.
And they ended the direct with admittedly something that had been rumored for a while, but I didn't think it would look this adorable. Link's Awakening remake. Now, Link's Awakening is one of those games that like everyone who's played it adores it. It is
Hmm.
easily like for a lot of people easily top 3 favorite Zelda game. I love me. I haven't played all of the like top down 2D Zeldas. I played like a couple of them, but the ones I have played are pretty solid. I never played Link's Awakening, but just
Hmm.
the way it looks like Link is a little toy. Almost he looks almost uh like the elf from the Rudolph claymation.
Hmm.
Like, just I could easily see people being a bit weirded out by this art style because it definitely looks a little more cartoony than I'm sure a lot of people wanted, especially after seeing that anime intro with Link, getting being caught in that storm. Definitely is a little bit jarring, but I think what they're going for is they're trying to capture the smallness that the original Game Boy in 1993 had,
Mm.
as well as it being like a dream world. So of course it's gonna look different because the main plot
Right.
of Link's Awakening is it spoiler. I think you know this up front. I'm not entirely sure, but is that the entire game takes place like inside a dream world. I don't know if Link's like in a
Oh,
coma or whatever, but this
well, it's
world,
called Link's Awakening, and the game's what, like
yeah,
25 years old, something like that.
26,
So yeah,
yeah,
so I mean, can you really spoil something that old?
no,
It's
you're
like
right.
that's like you saying spoilers. Oh, but Darth Vader's looks small. Like like it's not it's not spoilers if it's been out for this
That's
long.
fair, yeah.
Like if it's before you're born, that's not spoilers. That's just you're
Mhm.
not educated. But
Like, yeah, I love the art style so much. It's just another game I apparently need to buy this year. It's stupid.
but now that you see it, you can't not have it, right?
Because going into this year, I knew I needed to buy Daemon X Machina. Ultimate Alliance 3, and Pokemon. Oh, and Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Crap. Those were the four games.
We need to get you a list and the budget.
Those were the four games. Unfortunately, I need to pay $60 for Pokemon this year, but whatever.
Has to be done.
Um, Now, probably getting Link's Awakening, Astral Chain, maybe Starling if it's on sale. Like this is,
This
uh,
is getting this is getting very expensive very quickly.
yeah. uh, I luckily as good as Dragon Quest 11, as good as Oninaka and Bloodstained looked, I don't think I'm actually going to get those. I'm glad they exist. I'm glad they're coming to Switch, especially Bloodstained. I'm glad that exists. Period. But I need to not buy everything. On E3 hasn't even happened yet, so there's probably going to be some
I
other big
know.
game. Oh.
We're only in February.
Yeah.
There's a lot of year left.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that like I said, I didn't even touch everything that happened in this direct. There was 3 or 4 other games I just didn't feel like talking about, but that was enough. If that was all it was, fine. Like even half of that, I feel people would have been satisfied. Especially when you start with Mario Maker 2 and end with Link's Awakening, like, well, that is
Everything else is just gravy.
exactly. So, let's move away from Nintendo and see what Disney is up to now. So, Disney released again on Wednesday that Frozen 2 trailer, which that's a movie that you or I didn't really ask for. We felt Frozen 1 kind of wrapped up pretty nicely. It
Yeah.
didn't sequel bait at all, but because money,
Yes.
it
Because Disney and money and and I mean kind of like I said earlier, I've been on the record saying I want, instead of making a Toy Story 4, I would like Disney to make sequels of movies that actually don't have sequels yet.
mm-hmm.
So for me, I was like, yeah, I want to see Inside Out 2. I think that'd be really good or something
True
like
Monsters
that.
Inc.
But
sequel.
yeah, exactly. Not the Monsters University waste of movie, but
Yeah.
I think this is really, I think it's a good idea, but what they do with it is going to be whether it's going to be worth it or not.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with movies, that the standalone story is wrapped up so nicely
Mm-hmm.
that making a sequel a lot of times it's really hit or miss. It's
Yeah.
okay, if you have an idea that I like, we'll run with it. You can make 2 or 3 more. If you have an idea that's kind of dumb or something, it's why did we do this? But so for every Toy Story, there's a Mulan sequel. So
Well, all the direct to
we don't
DVD
need to.
sequels are. Now, all that being said, this trailer was amazing. I'm gonna go on record saying that.
Really?
Yes, like the fact that there was no dialogue the entire trailer. It opened with what felt like Elsa's audition to become an Avenger. Like what?
Right? That's what I was like. I was like, yeah, is this a Kingdom Hearts thing? Why weren't you doing that when we had to fight the ice monster? What are you doing? Where was this? 2 worlds ago. Details. But continue.
and that scene of I don't remember the guy Sven. No, it's the deer. What's the
Yeah,
guy?
he's talking about
What's the dude's name?
Shoot, I just saw the dude. Oh my god. I know it, but I don't remember.
Christoph?
But yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
Christoph running in on Sven with all the other deer running behind him, like
That was pretty hype. That was pretty cool.
and at one scene of Elsa spinning around trying to put out that fire. It's and that one random girl who I'm assuming maybe created that fire or I and then the very end with Anna pulling out that sword and slashing the cameraman. What is
That
happening?
was cool.
What is
cool
this
too.
movie?
I mean, it's I feel like it's they're adapting to more of not even a more not even violent, but adventurous lifestyle. Because Elsa looks like she looks like she's ready for battle.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Anna just casually pulls out herself sword, like she knows what she's like. It looks like they're getting ready for some kind of war. So I'm like, I don't think it might be a war, but like something's going on
Yeah.
that may or may not be violent, which I'm all for because
Hmm.
violence is never a bad thing unless it is.
Yeah. Like Frozen 2 is one of those movies that, I just kind of accepted was coming out this year. I didn't have any plans to actually watch it, but after seeing that trailer, I it's I'm actually excited for it, and that doesn't make sense.
It looks good, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
have to see another trailer for it though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Like
so
maybe
far, Green
once
got.
yeah, maybe once they start doing more Olaf stuff, I'm gonna
Mhm.
maybe be a little more different. But
Yeah. But I would say right now it's got the green light. That's all I'm
yeah,
gonna say. Right now it's got the green light. Like it
again,
was,
I feel having no dialogue was the right choice for this trailer.
yeah.
Just
I mean,
showcase the new awesomeness that's gonna happen. Apparently, it just
yeah.
don't let
I
it be
feel
bogged
like,
down with any talking or narration or anything. Just let it be.
right.
And it was
feel
good.
like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if they're gonna make a drastic change, I wonder how the original audience is gonna feel. Because I
Yeah.
remember, like, the thing that made me dislike Frozen less than actually watching it was just everyone thinking they were like saying every song, and I'm just like, so like, I'm not saying I don't know, but like it, the original movies are very like fairy tale esque,
Hmm.
singing, not a lot going on, and this looks very intense. Almost looks like I forgot the movie I was talking about, but like, yeah, but definitely a more violent, more
Hmm.
not even necessarily violent, but just more action in general, which
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Yeah. And I also appreciate that the song choice that they picked for the movie is the trailer is that the intro like kind of folky song that played at the beginning of Frozen. What kind of felt even more dramatic here
Mhm.
because the first two songs in the original Frozen movie, the the intro one is pretty short, and then the Beware the Frozen Heart song they're singing into when they're cutting the ice.
Mhm.
I really like both those songs, but they don't fit the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
So
kind
I'm
of throws you
hoping
off.
that since they're putting a lot of focus on this one song that I really like from the first one, hoping a lot more songs from the sequel can capture that element little more.
Yeah. I like where it's going. It's not even a darker tone, but just kind of like a more intense tone.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Oh yeah. So do you know the YouTube channel slash website Screen Rant?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't think
Well,
so.
they're they're one of those uh their YouTube channel is one of those that pops out like top tens every 10 minutes. And
Okay.
it's like top 10, powers you didn't know this blank had, top 10 mistakes in blank movie, and then it feels like
Hmm.
every week they
Redo
already
something they've
they,
already
re,
done.
they redo one they did a year ago. It was like, but you already did
Hmm.
that. And their
Like
blog
very,
is
yeah, they're
yeah,
kind of like Watch Mojo kind of.
kind of yeah. They feel they're a little more entertaining than Watch Mojo, but they still they have the same essence. And their blog is also kind of like that. And they're also really bad about jumping the gun on stuff. If they hear a rumor, they just present it as
They
fact.
run with it, yeah.
I hate that. So on Wednesday, again, they put out a tweet that was to one of their articles saying that according to a rumor they heard, Rian Johnson was stepping away from his Star Wars trilogy based on like creative differences and he wants to do his own thing outside of Disney. So everyone's freaking out. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna, listen to this until Rian Johnson himself confirms it. When Rian Johnson retweeted and was like, "Yeah, that's a lie. I'm still working on the trilogy, guys. Don't need to freak out." It's
Like,
like,
settle down.
like what? Why? Why would you? At least he's very. Brian Johnson is very active on Twitter. You could have just
Mm.
asked him.
It's like, yo, Ryan, is this happening? Ryan's like, no. How? Where did this come from?
I didn't quit. I'm very happy here.
It's like I took a 10-minute break to get coffee. How did this happen?
Yeah, so of course Green Rain got a lot of flack for that. He's right there, just ask him. But I'm actually really excited for Rian Johnson's trilogy. You know, you and I we both love The Last Jedi. I'm honestly a little surprised that Disney is still actually is allowing him to do a trilogy, considering the kind of you know uh, split nature of The Last Jedi. I would
Mm-hmm.
I could see Disney easily being like, okay, a lot of people don't like The Last Jedi, therefore you're not going to do this trilogy. But they feel confident enough in him to do his own thing. So
Yeah, and I mean it's Star Wars too, so like they know it's gonna make plenty of money. They
yeah,
ain't worried.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if we have a release date for that, but take your time with it. Just do your own thing, make your own
Yeah,
story,
yeah,
set it.
and
Please set it in Old Republic, but like if it just make your own story, it doesn't need to be set in a particular
yeah.
timeline with any particular characters. Just
Don't go in the future again. That's my thing. Like I'm already like kind of burned out from the future. I don't want
yeah,
to go in the future again.
yeah. Like
I kind of want to go
there are
backwards.
plenty of stories you could tell during the Clone War era between
Oh
Episode 3 and 4, Old Republic
right,
right before Episode 1, because a lot of crap happened right before Episode 1. It's crazy.
right, dude. I mean, and I think there's so many books about it, dude.
Hmm.
Like there's so much content you could just run with. It doesn't even have to be. And you don't have to put it right next to any other movies. You could, Old Republic be all by
Hmm.
yourself and just run with that, or you could just,
Yeah,
I don't know.
like you
I
could
mean,
make an
even
entire trilogy based on Darth Vader's escapades between Episode 4 and 5, because apparently that was a thing.
mhm. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
He's a busy man, Or like I think like a trilogy in the Clone Wars. Like I'd
Mm.
be down. Like I don't know. I really like the Clone Wars,
Oh
so
yeah.
like, I feel like that'd be really cool. But
Mm.
like I don't know. Like anything, honestly. Like or just like a really like solid like we're like following like a master and a Padawan or something like that. Because like
Yeah.
I feel like we never really got that. Really, we
Hmm.
got moments with like Luke and Yoda, and like there's a little bit of and like episode like kind of like episode 1, but like obviously a lot better with
Actually
doing
good.
yeah, yeah, because I like the dynamic of a master and a Padawan. I've always thought that dynamic was really cool, but
Hmm.
they kind of skip over the good parts because they go from episode 2 to 3 from Padawan who doesn't listen to master to oh yeah I'm my own dude now I don't even need you bro
Yeah.
but we still hang out all the time.
And then they keep referencing stuff that's way cooler than the movie we're watching. It's
Right.
like I want to see that.
Like, right? It's like, oh, it's like that one time. It's like, oh, that 9 times. That one time that thing hits him in the morning. That doesn't count. I'm like, where was I? Like, that sounds like literally a movie about Obi-Wan and Anakin just doing stuff.
Yeah.
That would be so sick. Like, I don't even care what we're doing. I just like, oh my gosh,
Mm,
doing
yeah.
stuff.
So, so yeah. Hopefully he's not lying and he actually is still making that trilogy. Looking forward to it.
Probably.
So, in other nerd news, Batman versus the TMNT animated movie is coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know who like? Okay, that was a dumb question. Do you know who's like the main writer behind it? Like,
I don't remember who the main writer is, but
well, who do we know that's involved?
I know Troy Baker is voicing both Batman and Joker, which he
Real.
does an amazing Joker. He's like point for point Mark Hamill impression. It is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And he also
How's it?
voiced Batman in the Telltale series. So
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good voice. I like that. I'll take that. So this is
Tara Strong is coming
happening.
back for Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Um, someone from
Do we know?
SNL is doing Michelangelo. Like it's it's looking like it's gonna be actually pretty good, depending on the
I
voice cast.
yeah. I don't. This has always been one of those mashups that in my head never made any sense. But but actually seeing it, it
Feels
kind of
right.
started to work, right? It's weird, but it's like part of it works because it's like, okay, well, Batman's a ninja. Obviously, the Ninja Turtles are ninjas, so that part works. But then
Mhm.
it's like, okay, and they also like I kind of underestimate how much ninja the Ninja Turtles are because
Yeah.
sometimes especially if you think about like the '80s/90s cartoon, you think like they don't really do ninja stuff, do they? But then you think then like I like watching like the 2003. It's like okay, they do some ninja stuff
Yeah.
for sure, so they'll work well with Batman.
Mm.
Like how bad they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, aren't you afraid of us? And he's like, no. Like I've seen great. Like, you know what I've seen, bro? Like I'm Batman. I feel like they're gonna be more like freaked out of him. Like, oh my god, Batman's real, says the like mutant turtle.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, get away from
Yeah.
me.
Like, are they gonna do it where the Ninja Turtles just exist in the DC universe, or is it gonna be like some kind of universe crossing thing? Or
That I would rather it be like the former because like I don't know. Whenever there's like a universe crossing thing, it always feels way too cheesy and dumb.
yeah,
And they
little
I don't know, I feel
forced.
like yeah, I feel like if the ninjas or like if Batman just comes to like I guess New York, even though I don't know if New York and Gotham are the same but different, but details.
Whatever.
But yeah, they just go. He just goes to wherever they are, and he has to like go into the sewer. Maybe and oh, look at that! There's four turtles with ninja powers, mask, and can speak English. Interesting.
Cool. Oh, by all rights, they should be speaking Japanese, but whatever.
True,
Because
but then again,
Where did Master Splinter learn English from?
and
If
in
he,
Japan, yeah.
I don't know.
Then again, I mean, yeah, but then again, if they only spoke Japanese, that'd be a very I mean,
Confusing.
sub wasn't really, sub wasn't really getting big until
Yeah.
not too long ago. So that would have, I don't know how that would have gone in the '80s,
uh,
but no, I mean, it'd still be dope.
yeah, but yeah, like Joker and the Shredder, I think could be a pretty good combo of villains.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking like, I feel like Shredder and Ra's al Ghul would get along really well
Ooh,
now.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Right? I feel like that. I don't know. I might, like that's the combination I would see. But
Mm,
then again, I'd be like, then again, they're kind of the same thing if you think about it.
even better. Make
Right?
jokes about it.
It's like, oh yeah, well my guys are cooler. Oh yeah, well I have armor that just, it looks you look like a cheese grater. Like
Mm. Or for some reason, I really want to see Raphael fight Bane,
just
or
Raphael specifically.
yeah, or like Killer Croc or something like that.
That would be
Two
cool. Yeah,
bruisers fighting.
I was also thinking Killer Croc or something like that.
Mm.
That'd be. Is it only like are Batman and the Joker like the only or Harley Quinn apparently like the only characters coming over, or is it
We
like
know
gonna be
that
a
Batgirl and a Robin. I'm not sure if you know which
Robin?
one yet, but a Robin.
Please give me some Tim Drake love.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
Tim Drake needs some love. Dude, don't do Damien. I'm tired of Damien.
You're
I know
right,
some
but
people
they'll probably do Damien.
I know some people like Damien, but like I personally I just don't. I
Yeah,
don't know. I just I want Tim Drake is so he gets oh dude. Everyone he's always the last Robin people think of.
I mean Carrie Kelly.
Okay. The last legit Robin. Okay, like we're not doing this whole Dark Knight's Return. Isn't she a Robin? Like we're not doing this. No, no, no.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like I barely count Stephanie, let alone.
yeah.
Like
Was Cassandra Cain ever actually a Robin, or was she just Batgirl?
I think she was just a Batgirl
Okay,
slash or orphan. So yeah,
okay.
but
It's weird how Batman chooses who. Like, there's
yeah,
some female
I don't
Robins,
really think
some are just
Batman
Batgirl.
chooses. I don't even think Batman really chooses. I think they kind of just choose for themselves. Because, like, as far as like, Stephanie was like Robin to replace Tim
Mm,
and then got fired after like one or two missions and then still wanted to help. And then Barbara's like, got you, fam.
mm,
And like, here, you can wear this. And
yeah.
then Cassandra, I think it was just like, I adopt you. Come help me beat up bad guys.
Okay.
Like I don't even like I'm not even sure, but like I don't know. Maybe it's just like I want to be Robin. No, I want to be Robin. Oh, I'm gonna be Robin anyway. Okay.
Sure.
It's like sure. That was my test. I'm just like okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
they
like
said
a
that's coming next year. So cool.
Tim Drake. Fingers crossed for Tim Drake, love.
Mm, probably
But
not, but
probably not.
fingers
Probably
crossed.
not because the only Tim Drake that we've really gotten is Young Justice because Batman the Animated Series is technically Tim Drake by his name, but it's
Yeah.
Jason Todd. But it's fine.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to think, what other Tim Drake stuff even is there? I don't even know.
Is there? I don't
Like
think.
like off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else that has Tim Drake even in it, like TV show wise. Or even movie wise now that I think about it.
Did was he in that weird like Batman Unlimited?
Yes. Yes. It
Like
was because they had
yeah.
everybody in that. That was
Okay.
that was weird. I did not like that at all.
That art style, I didn't. Nightwing looks stupid in that.
Nightwing looked very dumb. And like it was like I don't know, like they all kind of looked weird and the voices some of the voices didn't work for me and like the
Yeah.
character styles didn't work. It just didn't work for me.
Mm.
But nah, I don't know what that was really aimed towards anyway, but
Oh well.
I don't know. But maybe Tim Drake will get some love. If not, we always have comic books, so it'll be
Oh
okay.
yeah. Now, time to move on to Nerd Clash.
Boom, boom.
And what better way to celebrate all the freaking anime that happened this on Wednesday than having a
There's
giant
more
robot fight
freaking.
between Optimus Prime versus a Sentinel from X-Men?
Boom, boom. Okay. Opening statements. Go.
So, okay. Optimus Prime one time walked away from one of the biggest explosions just ever written into a comic book. Essentially, um, the Decepticons were doing something to this like huge energon fuel like tank reserve place, and it exploded. Like it zoomed out to Cybertron. The explosion could be seen from outer space as like a giant mushroom cloud going out into space, and Optimus Prime just casually walked out of it like that.
Whoa. So this casually took like a grand scale nuke and just
Yeah,
kind of was
like he
like,
was
oh,
still like
okay, cool.
scuffed and scarred, but like as far as being able to move, he could easily just have kept fighting. So
Hey, that's pretty that's pretty good. It's
your
pretty
turn.
good. Pretty good. As far as Sentinel, I don't know too much about like how powerful they are. I'm looking up abilities now. Let's see
I
what
know they
we've
have
got.
laser vision, teleportation, self
Right.
repair. They
Yeah.
have this
Which
thing to like copy mutant abilities. We could just
that
say he would have the ability to like copy Optimus's ability of copying other machines to transform into.
okay, that could come in handy.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, but hey, I don't know how in handy that would come into it. This
Mm.
let's see, two Mark 7.
So Mark 7?
There's a lot of marks. Mark 6.
We'll
Oh,
just assume
okay.
all
Hang
of these
on.
powers apply to all of them, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Energy blast flight, mean detection robotics, learning programs, searching lights, and invisibility. Ooh,
Ooh.
that's a new one. Um, liquid nitrogen from their eye. Oh,
Okay.
okay, okay. How the turn tables. Let's see. Oh my God, that is awesome. Creation of life support, life. Human 16. Yeah, I knew that already. Yeah, it can fight like X-Men, teleportate. Dude, this thing can do everything.
Does
Jesus.
it like do you know if it copies and stores the abilities of X-Men? Like could it just
Yeah,
whip out it can like whip out like
yeah,
Storm's abilities and stuff?
yeah. It can even sound like them.
Oh,
So they can
cool.
definitely do their abilities, which
Okay.
includes everything, Havoc, Polaris. Oh oh my gosh, Jean Grey, Storm, etc. So I assume that means everyone else too.
Okay, okay.
Oh, jeez. So
Copying Jean Grey
essentially,
is a little okay.
little OP. Oh, what was I say? Little OP. Um, ooh, okay. Well, they are acceptable. Well,
But
ooh, not susceptible to common machinery weaknesses. So I'm assuming that means like EMP and stuff like
yeah,
that. I don't know. Does that you think that would affect the transformer
it depends on the
theoretically?
continuity.
Yeah,
Bayformers definitely yes, but pretty sure in the more recent Cybertron comics, like
probably
they've
not.
tanked. There are specific Transformers that have EMP weapons that can like stun people, but those are specifically made by Cybertronians to affect Cybertronians. I don't think Sentinel
Okay.
would be able to. I don't know if it would work the same way.
Just wait a second. Okay, this is. I don't. Okay, I like this. This thing is OP. Good gosh. Yeah, basically every X-Men power plus. I don't. I mean, plus you got invisibility, which is already a power. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Liquid nitrogen blast,
What does that
like
even mean?
every other kind of blast. Good. Good movie. I
Okay.
mean,
So another thing that like on a smaller scale, Optimus has easily tanked a direct blast from Galvatron's arm cannon. Just keep in
okay.
mind this blast completely disintegrated Starscream in the animated movie. Like
Oof.
it made him turn to gray and turn to ash.
Okay. So pretty powerful.
Yeah, like
So pretty different.
by all
But
and it's
more
not a
than a flesh
situation.
wound.
It's not a situation like in the beginning of that movie where pretty much every single Autobot just kind of just died from one shot from anything because they were low on
Right.
energon. Like the Decepticons have enough energon to sustain themselves forever. So that shot
Hmm.
was theoretically enough to just destroy any Transformer at peak ability. Where Optimus can just tank one easily. So
How is that even possible? What is it? Hold on. I am researching certain abilities.
I
It's
did
like,
not realize Sentinels were that insane.
dude, I'm telling you, dude, like they okay, I misspoke. It's Mark 6, not Mark 7.
Okay,
My Roman numerals are off, but yeah, I mean,
still,
super strength. I mean, it just says robotics, but it
mm,
elaborates more. I'm not even gonna read all that.
yeah,
Learning program, so it can learn his fighting style too. It can like use his weapons against him.
mm,
Oh my God. And like the ability to have all of their powers of the X-Men too. I mean, because any X-Men it's seen, it can have their powers. So
yeah,
theoretically, I mean, if you think about it, it can theoretically have Juggernaut's invincibility, so that also helps.
mm,
Because because Juggernaut's basically,
yeah.
I
He is
mean,
one of the best healing factors for some reason.
yeah,
Better than the Hulk at times. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like
why?
he's like on, like I mean, he's like, cause I think he's on like Hulk level in terms of like can't be taken down. Like
Mm,
this dude is broken basically.
yeah,
That's just one of them. Invulnerable. Okay. Okay. There's an invisible force field surrounding Juggernaut's body, allows him to be completely immune to any purely physical attack, no matter the magnitude. Juggernaut can still be thrown out back.
X Men are stupid.
It's so broken. Like that's so like the dude. Oh my gosh. Feel Hulk's strongest punches. Thor's God Force Blast, which caused Galactus to run for his life and broke the Prime's less effective dome, cannot affect Juggernaut. Good lord. Oh my
uh,
gosh.
was he
Wolverine's Wolverine's adamantium claws, which don't break, bro.
was he a
What does
four
that even
horseman at
mean?
this point? Like, there's no
I
way
believe
that's
so. That's probably. I mean, that's probably like Policeman idea, obviously. But I mean, still, like, God, comic books are broken. I love it. But yeah, I mean, because Yeah, I mean that's doing. I mean that's doing. Again, that's doing the most. That's just always
Yeah, and
doing.
also, is it safe to assume that since the Sentinel theoretically wouldn't, in any natural scenario, be fighting Juggernaut, since
Yeah,
they would be
that's,
on the
this
same
is true.
side?
This is true. This is true.
Hmm.
But again, details. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, uh, I don't know, cause I don't know, cause the thing about Optimus Prime is though, it's like depending on the situation, this dude can also be God tier. So it's like,
yeah. And like, if we need to, he can go up to Power Master Optimus Prime, basically combine with his trailer to a new form. Um, but in the continuity, he can combine with Jetfire or Star Saber or Wing Saber to get a new form and abilities like that. He has the Matrix of Leadership if he feels his life is in danger. If he feels that his death would cause the Autobots to basically cease to exist, he could use it to just obliterate him. But
wait, wait, elaborate a little more on that one. What is that?
um, the way the Matrix of Leadership works is um, it is used to light their darkest hour, where if essentially if the user feels that whatever the situation is would completely eradicate the Autobots from existence, they would pull it apart, and like all the power inside of it would unleash and destroy whatever it is that's causing problem. Like um it completely obliterated Unicron. It caused this, like, in the episode of the show where Optimus came back, um this like red disease stuff was like flowing all throughout the universe and like turning every single Transformer period evil. So we used it to basically wipe that from existence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. It's pretty,
Yeah.
it's like the yeah, I think that's kind of the killer right there. That would definitely be the
Yeah. Like, if he
Sentinel.
chose to use it, I don't know if Sentinel could really come back, but like
No.
I don't really think he would just use it willy nilly, because he didn't even use it against Megatron when he was invading Autobot City. Then again, I don't know if the writers thought of it at the time. It only popped up after that fight, so I don't even know if it
Yeah,
existed at that point.
that would put a damper on things. Optimus, why are we using our greatest weapon? Because the writers don't think of it till 2 issues later. No.
Exactly. But man, I mean, Optimus is 10 feet taller, so there's that.
Really good his height advantage
Yes.
here? Really?
Even taller if he goes Power Master.
Oh, intimidate him by being
Being able to
tall. 10 feet
copy
tall.
any ability. I'm pretty sure Optimus had the ability to sense if he was invisible, like sense where he is. Um, I think. Um, what are you thinking?
I was honestly thinking Optimus Prime before, but then I just started thinking Sentinel. But now I think I'm going back to Optimus Prime
Hmm.
just because he has that, like, basically, like, not even like Deus Ex Machina, just like ability, just like, all right, well, this is turning bad. Let me just wipe this from the face of existence,
Yeah.
just in case. That kind of takes the win.
Hmm. And even without that, I might just be very biased, but I still kind of think that Optimus would be able to persevere through it. Like, he's fought waves and waves of Decepticons, and like with all the different types of abilities and weapons and stuff, and come out just fine. I'm just trying to think of some, because obviously I'm pretty sure if given the opportunity, I'm pretty sure Optimus would have something to kill Sentinel. I'm just not entirely sure what Sentinel would have to really kill Optimus.
Hmm.
Like, what?
Yeah, that's the
But Jean
thing. I
Grey,
mean,
though, if he copied like all of the Phoenix Force, which I don't know
yeah,
if that's.
I don't know if you can copy all the Phoenix Force. So I feel like that's a bit much for a Sentinel.
Hmm.
But as far as like Jean Grey and the others specifically, that still works. But I
Yeah.
mean, Because I mean, because that's basically putting the X-Men against Optimus Prime.
Mm,
Although you can only use one at a time, I'm pretty sure. But
okay. So it's kind of like a Mazo in that way? Oh,
yeah, that's
okay.
what they like. I made kind of like
Didn't
a
even think about
side
that until right
ability.
now. Huh.
Yeah, Mazo versus Sentinel. Plot twist for next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Optimus Prime, based on that latest thing you brought out, that's
Matrix.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to come back from
Yeah,
that.
because like theoretically, if it comes down to Optimus fighting this thing, probably mean that there are probably more than just one because that's how they work.
Yeah, but that's not fair though, because then you'd be like, well, I got all the Autobots, so like,
Yeah, I know. I'm saying there's probably more than one of these things, so it would be all the Autobots fighting like a bunch of these Sentinels all at
mm,
once. Optimus might see that as, oh crap, we literally cannot defeat these things.
right?
Like I might be able to take out one or two, but
Like, yeah, we got issues. There's too
yeah,
many going on.
yeah, okay. Um, but yeah, I might be biased, but I think Optimus would eventually, in one way or another, take him out.
Fair enough.
So, is there anything else from this week, or whatever you want to bring up or talk about?
Not for right now. No, we've kind of covered it. Now. There hasn't been too much in the last couple of days that I've known about.
Okay.
So
Again, all this like there was one other thing I'll save for. It's not like super big. I'll save for next time, but again, pretty much everything we talked about today was just this past Wednesday, and that is crazy.
it's been one of those weeks, and that's okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. Please, if every week's like that, I won't complain. But then again, I need to catch my breath at some point.
uh, uh, okay then, and with that, we will see you all later.